Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back again for another episode of Magnificent Seven Rides again. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to have back with me Janet Reinwald. Janet, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Janet, I wanted to start by asking you, could you tell our audience when you fell in love with art? Was it as a little girl? Was it as a teenager? Was it
Y-
as an adult? Tell us
Yes,
about your journey.
as a child, a young girl, I always loved to be creative and do artwork. And I remember my dad gave me a set of pastels when I was about 10 years old, and I loved them. And so I started doing pastel fun stuff. And then over the years, I took classes in high school and then took a private oil painting class, which was a big step for me. And I really loved that. And I've always done art. I've loved it.
Where did you grow up?
In Fort Worth, Texas.
And did you continue your art study and work in college?
Yes, I started out as an art education major at Oklahoma State, and when I realized I didn't really wanna teach school, I decided to go into commercial art. So I took classes at a commercial art college in Tulsa, and from there, all my jobs after that have been commercial art based. I've done production art, I've done decorative painting, I've done all kinds of, um, creative art.
When did you sort of move into your current phase as an artist full time?
Okay. I worked as a graphic artist for 20 years, and that included computer art and office kind of creativity. So I really wanted to do more than that. So when I retired, I decided watercolor was going to be my next step. So took a really good class in watercolor, and that set it for me right then. I didn't go back to oil painting or pastels after that. So I've done watercolor solely for 16 years now. That's my love, and that's all I do. I love it.
Um, this passion you have for art, does it include sharing it with others, whether it be a child, whether it be another adult, whether it be another woman?
Oh, yes. I've taught young girls private watercolor lessons, and my own granddaughters, I teach them whenever I'm with them. And in fact, last Christmas, I gave them all nice watercolor sets, trying to encourage them. And so they're getting their foot in the door for some watercolor.
What is it about watercolor that so has enraptured you as opposed to oil painting or
Oh,
pastels?
well, watercolor is a real challenge, as anybody who's tried it will tell you. But it's not only a challenge, it's so rewarding because you never know exactly what you're going to end up with. Add water to something you have on the paper and it explodes or runs or does things that you weren't expecting. And you think, whoa, that's really pretty. And you can get so many effects with watercolor, I think, because it's transparent. You can see layers and layers of color that blend together. It's just a different kind of painting.
Do you paint landscapes? Do you paint animals? Do you paint portraits? Other? None of the above? All of the above?
Oh, mostly landscapes because of where we are in the hill country. I also love to do florals, mainly cactus florals, cactus blooms. I do some animals and haven't really got into portraits. Yeah, landscape is my main thing.
What's your creative process? Do you see a landscape and it was captured in your mind's eye? Do you see another painting? Do you take a picture? How do you translate it from here to there?
Oh, okay. If I see something, a tree with the sun shining on it, I'll say, wow, wouldn't that be pretty painted in watercolor? Or if I see a sunset with the clouds all lit up, wouldn't that be a pretty watercolor? And then I take a picture and I'll take it home and work on it from the picture after I print it out. Sometimes I make adjustments on the computer and make composition the way that I like it. But mainly I have done plein air painting with watercolor too, painting right directly at the scene.
That would seem to me that you could really capture the color of the moment or
Hmm.
the sunshine of the moment.
That's right.
Could you talk a little bit about that? Your plein air work?
Of course, plein air, you're outside and the sun is moving gradually, and you have to, if you're going to catch a shadow or something, you have to catch it right at the right time. So you have to be pretty quick with plein air. And, but the best part about plein air is the atmosphere because you get the feeling of where you are, type of day it is, warm, cool, the light, and that's what you try to capture.
The Let's talk about the upcoming show, The Magnificent Seven
Mhm.
Rides Again, and let's start with The Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
Could you tell our listeners or remind them who the Magnificent Seven are, or at least as a group, and what has this group meant to you as an artist?
For one thing, I feel very honored and fortunate to be included in this group. I'm the only watercolorist. The others do oils and acrylics, wonderful work. But to be included with them, I'm very honored. And we've all become close friends, which has been great because even though we just have the show once a year, contact each other all during the year. And how are you doing? Do you have your paintings ready? That kind of question. So, yeah, it's a great group to be with.
And then let's move to The Magnificent Seven Rides Again. Can you tell us about that project?
About what we're working on now?
Yes.
Okay. We all have new work. And I was thinking about putting some older work in, but I thought, no, I've done some nicer stuff now. So I'm going to put in my new stuff. So this year's show is going to be great. It's going to be our new and improved version, I think, of the Magnificent Seven. Um, so I hope everybody comes out to see it.
The One of the things that intrigued me last year was seeing that 8-year-old girl or maybe 8-year-old boy who'd never seen fine art, may never have been that physically close to fine art, and see sort of these wide-eyed expressions.
Yeah.
What do you say to that little girl or that little boy who you see something you have done has moved them?
Yeah. I say, you enjoy looking at this. Just imagine the joy you will get by creating it yourself. Just give them an opportunity to do something, to create something, and they'll get that same joy. Besides just looking at art, they can create it too.
Tell us about the joy you get from creating.
Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, I love painting. I think painting alone in my studio, it's very solitary and it's joyful. I mean, it's the way to paint. I painted it with classes and with other friends. And of course, that's social and it's fun to do. Love to do that. But I think we get our best painting when we're concentrating on it solely without any interruptions. That's what I enjoy.
The upcoming show, or actually, could you tell us a little bit about the local art scene in Kerrville and sort of the vibrancy of what I see when I visit with women like you all?
Oh, there's a lot of talent here in Kerrville. We see it in different organizations and groups. And I think it's important that we're exposed, that people know about us, that the more people that exhibit their work in the restaurants around town or galleries, it just shows what all there is. Wonderful stuff here in Kerrville.
Jenna, unfortunately, we are near the end of our time for this episode. But before we leave, I wanted to ask you if our listeners wanted to find out more information about your art or see it, is there a place they could go?
Yes, I have a website now, janetreinwald.com. Very simple. And I've got a lot of my paintings in there.
Well, Janet, I'm greatly looking forward to seeing your work at the Magnificent Seven
Yeah,
Rides again next month.
good. Hope you come out and see it.